All right. Listen, to quote the great Terrell Owens, get your motherfucking popcorn ready because this is a smash mouth, hard body karate episode of the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast with New York Times bestselling author of the book Black Privilege, host of The Breakfast Club, an iconic shit talker, Charlamagne Tha God, is rocking with me on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. This is an iconic shit talker, okay? Charlamagne is an iconic shit talker, and game respects game. I get to talk to him about his prediction from years ago that Cardi B would be a huge star, behind the scenes of all his interviews, including his pre-election interview of Hillary Clinton, what was going on when Cash Money's Birdman came into the studio and demanded that he put some respect on his name, and watching Kanye West bug the fuck out right in front of him for about an hour on The Breakfast Club. Listen, this is a dope I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. Charlamagne was once photographed and videotaped with Fox News's Tomi Lahren. I call her a chickenhead Tommy. Breaks that down, how that came about. Listen, this is a hard body I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast coming up now with Charlamagne Tha God. Let's go. All right, I got to talk to you about Quip, okay? I'm going to be honest here. You're supposed to brush your teeth for 2 minutes twice a day. But do you? Do you really do that? Whether your answer is yes or no, or maybe you need Quip, okay? The electric toothbrush that looks like it was designed by the people from Apple, and it cleans like a premium, high-octane electric instrument without the high price. Quip is the best toothbrush in the world. Quip is the new electric toothbrush that packs just the right amount of vibrations into an ultra-slim design with guiding pulses to simplify better brushing at a fraction of the cost of bulkier brushes. Quip comes with a mount that goes right onto your mirror, fitting seamlessly into your daily routine. You want to have a good time? You gotta have good teeth. Quip also offers an optional subscription plan delivering new brush heads on dentist-recommended 3-month schedule for just $5. Just $5, including free shipping worldwide. Okay, and just in time for the holidays, Quip is the ideal size and price to gift to anyone on your list. Okay? You want to have good friends? You want to have good family members? They got to have good teeth. You can even include automatic brush head deliveries for a year to ensure that your gift keeps on giving until the next holiday. Quip starts at just $25, and right now, when you go to getquip.com, that's getquip, GETQUIP.com/I Am Rapaport to get your first refill pack free with a Quip electric toothbrush. Go to getquip.com/I Am Rapaport. Get the best electric toothbrush in the world. All right. Charlamagne Tha God.
Yeah.
In the motherfucking house.
What's up, my brother? Michael Rapaport, what's happening?
Everything's cool, man. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, thanks for
Rock
having me.
with me. The I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. You're usually the interviewer.
Yes.
Are you comfortable being interviewed?
Yeah, I actually enjoy it. It feels like therapy. You know what I mean? I think sometimes we need people to talk to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's always interesting to see what people's perception of you is.
Right.
And the things that they think about and the things that they want to ask you. So I always find that like intriguing.
What's the hardest interview you've ever had? Because I got to say, one of the things, I said this to you when I was on The Breakfast Club, you know, one of the things that I'm most impressed with you, when you're interviewing people, you don't contextualize. Like, you don't sort of excuse yourself. You'll just ask questions.
Absolutely.
Which I respect that. And, you know, like, and I've started interviewing people and, like, you know, doing docs and shit like that. Sometimes I'll go, blah, 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 and then ask the question. Like, your interviews, like, you'll just go, blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have you ever, like, what's the hardest interview you've ever had where someone sort of puts you to it?
The hardest interviews for me are always with the younger cats. You know what I'm saying? Not all of the younger cats, but a lot of them are like very socially awkward. Like somebody like the Migos, you know what I'm saying? Like, not all of them though. Like Offset is a good conversationalist, so to speak, you know, but like I mean, a lot of times, and I don't blame them, they don't want to be interviewed. They don't have a reason to be interviewed. Like, they didn't grow up with the traditional outlets that we grew up on. They don't have to do interviews, you know what I mean? Like, they don't have to make TV appearances if they don't want to. You know,
You're talking about the artists.
The artists, yeah. So when you got these younger guys like the Migos or I remember Chief Keef early on, like, they really don't want to be there, and I understand it.
Right.
I get it. Like, they're probably very talkative amongst their circle, but when it comes to getting interviewed, they just don't want to be asked questions.
Do you find, like, I mean, because your reputation as a host on the Breakfast Club specifically, and I preface it, you know, everything, you know, that you've done before, and you'll hear a very, if you even listen to this, you'll hear a very fawning sort of intro. But, like, your reputation as an interview, like, people know, like, all right, if I'm going to Charlamagne, I need to be awake, I need to be focused, because, you know, just the interviews, you've had crazy fucking interviews.
Yeah, I appreciate that energy, but that makes for awkward interviews too, because sometimes people come in there and they're so on the defense. And, like,
do you feel that now?
Yeah, I think some people are starting to be more comfortable just because they know, like, I'm not malicious with it. Like, I'm not just trying to attack, or I'm not trying to make a moment. I just want to have some real life, honest conversation. Right. So as long as you come in there with that approach, we good. But a lot of times they come in there with that defensive energy, thinking that they're gonna get swooped down on. But if as long as you don't come in there with that, you'll be fine.
Have you? Because I feel like you've pulled back just a little bit. Like, again, like, you ask the questions, you stay in the pocket, you ask questions. Do you feel like as you've gotten older, more experienced, like you're more of a compassionate interview, or, like, you know, you'll pull back on people now, like, whereas before you'll just, like, pounce, pounce, pounce?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have more sympathy and empathy and compassion now, only because, like, you know, I've been in the game long enough to kind of be on the other side as well. Right. So it's a lot of things that I read about myself that I know aren't true. So I know I still got to ask the question, but just in my mind, I'm thinking, like, yo, 90% of everything we read about people is bullshit anyway. But you got to do it, right? Because of the listeners. You know what I mean? Like, the listeners want us to ask those questions. But yeah, I mean, that's the main reason that, you know, I have more compassion now, just because I understand the game more. Like, when you're young and you coming from Moncks Corner, South Carolina, and you believe in everything you read on the internet, in your mind, you swear you know. So you're coming at people like, you're lying, it's that, like, yeah, you in the Illuminati, yeah, you know, sacrifice the dribble to get where you are. Like, you think you know everything, but that's just not accurate. Right. You know? So yeah, the more you grow, you definitely have more sympathy and empathy and compassion with the guests. Yeah, because I feel like it's still, like, a hard place to get interviewed. Like, I know when I was up there, I was like, yo, I'm fucking, like, I had my soda, I had my fucking coffee. I was like, I'm fucking, like, you know, but then I'm like, yo, these guys are cool. And it was fair but firm. Yeah. You know what I mean? My interview was fair but firm because, you know, morning radio, especially in New York, at times, it's like you want these things for the show. Yeah. Because it's good for the show. The Kanye, the Birdman shit, and all the fucking craziness. But think about it. Those interviews like that came from an honest place. Like, even with Birdman was upset because I would constantly say, why would somebody sign the Young Money, Cash Money when this guy has a reputation of not paying people? Right. That's not really malicious. That's just a accurate observation. Like, right. You know, he's always in the news for not paying something, not paying some artist. So I'm like, why would anybody want to sign that? You see how he's doing Wayne. So that's what had him hot and heated. Same thing with Kanye. I thought the Yeezus album was whack. That was a turning point for me as a fan of yours, because I was like, I'm so fucking glad he said it. And I'm a fan. Yeah. I love Kanye. Me too. But and as a fan, I have the right to say this product you put out is whack. Or those sneakers you put out are trash. Or that clothing you just put out is whack. I may like the next thing that you put out. But that run was garbage. Right. So the Birdman interview, to put some respect on my name, did you know he was coming up there? Yes. See, Universal. Give me the background. The backstory is Malcolm from Universal called me 2 weeks prior to that interview. And he called me like 4 in the morning, which isn't unusual because people know I'm up that early. So he was like, yo, you know, Birdman wants to come up there in a couple weeks. He just wants to make sure you're there. I'm like, cool, sure. So that lets me already know you about to be on some fuck shit. You already knew that he was coming. Yeah, I knew he was coming with an agenda. Right. You know, I mean, I didn't know exactly what level it was going to be on, but I knew he was coming with an agenda. And if you watch that interview, when he walked in the room, that wasn't supposed to be on air. That was me standing in the studio and watching him pace back and forth outside. So I told everybody, all right, turn the cameras on now. Right. So as soon as he walked in the room, he cursed us all out. And then if you notice, he sits down and Envy starts the interview. And I go, no, this dude just cursed us out. Say it on the air. And he didn't really, I had to coax it out of him again. He came in high, sat down, came back down a little bit, but then went high again.
And then where did it, I mean, that shit is like a hashtag.
Yeah,
like it still is like, put some respect. I mean, I don't even remember, was that like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
That was last year.
It was last year, but
April 2016.
Like, put some respect on my name. 30 years from now, that shit will, everybody like that was around, like, you'll know, like, that was like a pop culture moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Weird, like, what was the sort of like, the fallout from it or the buildup from it? Like how crazy did that particular interview and just the hype for the station and the show, and are like, your boss is like, fuck, this is fucking great, you get a fucking raise, get some more crazy shit going on.
Yeah, I mean, a lot changed because of that interview, because that was the same week where we interviewed Hillary Clinton that Monday, and that was the whole hot sauce in my bag thing. So that was our biggest interview media wise. And then Friday, Birdman came and was even bigger than that. And to be honest with you, that's when I realized the world had changed, because Prince died that Thursday. And we do all our interviews on a Thursday. So the day we interviewed Birdman, Prince died later on that afternoon. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, ain't nobody gonna care about this Birdman shit tomorrow. But I was like, let's let it fly anyway. It overshadowed Prince dying.
That's crazy. And Hillary had been on that Monday.
Hillary had been on that Monday. So it was the whole hot sauce in my bag thing with Hillary. But then that put some respect on my name was just one of those moments you don't know what's going to happen. But it changed everything for us, because up until that point, I had been telling iHeart for the longest, like, yo, we need a YouTube page. We need a YouTube page. And they had like a YouTube page where they would put like clips of the interviews on it, but they were still like very old school, prehistoric, because they wanted everybody to go to Power 105's website. And I'm like, yo, our player sucks. Like, every major media outlet is on YouTube. Why aren't we just putting interviews on YouTube? So after that, when that interview went online and got like 70 million views on somebody's page, that's when they was like, okay, yeah, you're right.
That was like the beginning of like you guys being officially on YouTube.
Absolutely.
So the Kanye interview, again, like, and I actually listened to it again, knowing that I was going to talk to you, to interview you. That dude, like, and then sooner or later, like, he started melting down. Like, did you get a sense that, like, that was a crazy person or somebody that was in trouble or struggling?
Yeah, he definitely had something going on within him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's the constant dealing with somebody like your mother passing away, or if it's the struggles that he was having with the fashion industry. I don't know what it was, but he definitely was dealing with something. You know, and I think that's why we saw so much. We saw him vent so much. You know what I mean? Leading up until that point, and he still vented a little bit afterwards. But I mean, he got the opportunity to do what it is that he wanted to do, and he succeeded at it.
Have you spoken to him since?
We correspond I haven't spoken to him in a while, but we would correspond via email every now and then.
Did you think like that interview, like, cause that was after the Sway interview, right?
No, I think he left. He left Breakfast Club and went over to Sway.
Okay, so it was just a fucking day of.
Yep.
It was like, I'm gonna deal with Charlamagne and Sway.
Yep.
And I mean, that was just like a bugged out time. What is your opinion of his whole career in terms of hip hop? Because like I said, I'm a fan. Like I'm a fan of his production. I'm a fan of the first 2-3 albums. There's always some shit on his records that's dope. He's prolific, but like he's gotten so like prisoner of his fame in a way, and prisoner of his own mind, and prisoner of his own creativity, and prisoner of his own ego. Like, what is your opinion of Kanye? Like now it's 2017. We're getting ready to go to 2018. Like, what is your opinion of him as an artist?
I think Kanye West is one of the 3 most influential rappers of all time. I think it's Tupac Shakur, I think it's Jay-Z, and I think it's Kanye West. Because when you look at this whole generation, well, a good portion of this generation, whether it's the Kendrick Lamars, the Drakes, the J. Coles, the Big Seans, the Chance the Rappers, the Vic Mensahs, they're all fruit off Kanye's tree. You know what I'm saying? So Kanye is a GOAT. He's a legend. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's up there with the Bigs and the Scarfaces and the Hoves, the Pacs. Like, you have to put Kanye up there. If there's a rap Rushmore, Kanye has to be on that rap Rushmore.
I agree.
He has to be.
I agree.
And the guy got like, he got 4 to 5 classic albums.
Yeah.
In hindsight, College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, even 808 and Heartbreaks in hindsight. Like, you got to look at those 5 albums and be like, all right, those are some classic records.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he's prolific, and just the joints that he's produced for other people.
Yeah, and that's what I look at. Like, even when you look at somebody like Hove, You know, the reason I put Hov up there as one of the greatest, not only because he's one of the greatest MCs ever, but look what he inspired. And that's what Kanye, like Kanye got Pusha T as his artist and Big Sean, and you know, he was responsible for Kid Cudi, like you know, he's responsible for all of these other great artists.
You're right.
So you gotta put Kanye. He's actually ranks really, really, really high
in terms of just like the overall sort of
overall. Yeah, if you're being objective and being unbiased, you gotta put Kanye like. Man, he's up there, like really up there rap. I'm talking about like, when you talking about Big Daddy, Kane, KRS, when you talking about those top 10 greats.
Yeah.
Kanye might be up there top 10 of all time, man.
Do you think like, I look at his career similarly. Now, Kobe's now, everybody loves him. You know, everybody like, you know, Kobe. But like he's had these fucking ebbs when he was playing, ebbs and flows. He had the Afro Kobe, the bowler, and then he's rapping. You know, he's shooting air balls, and then he's come around, and then he fucked up, and then the case, we forget all, you know. And it's like these ebbs and flows, and then he came to the end. It's like everybody loves Kobe. He's top 5. And he's also the like Kobe's like a basketball savant. Like his whole life was built on playing and conquering the NBA. And in a way, I look at Kanye, like he seems like his whole life, you know, he's like 40 now, but he was like, you know, all the Rockefeller shit. He was like, I'm gonna be a rapper, I'm gonna be a producer, and this is what I do, and that's all I fucking do. Right. And then he goes through these, you know, like he's dope, everybody loves him, everybody fucking hates him, and now he's like in a space where I don't know what the fuck, you know, he's almost like in an Eminem sort of space, because it's like he might have passed his biggest time might have passed because he's older.
I liked the Life of Pablo album though.
Did you?
I thought the Life of Pablo album was dope.
I couldn't fucking stand it, man.
I liked it. You know what it was with the Life of Pablo album? His personality overshadowed all the music. He was bigger than his music. I think 50 Cent has the same problem. 50 Cent's character is just bigger than his music. I think with Kanye, like his personality and character was bigger than his music. Because the Life of Pablo album is actually a really dope album. And I went to the concert and watched him perform it. Like Waves Goes Hard.
That's the one where he's on the fucking stage?
Yeah, man. Like he got some joints on that. Like that's a really good album. I just think his personality overshadowed the music. Eminem is trash now though. Oh my God.
I agree.
Oh, what happened? You know what it is? I hate woke Eminem. I don't like conscious Eminem. I don't want to hear that shit from you, man. Like, I love when white people use their privilege to combat prejudice, but I don't want to hear that. It just sounds, woke Eminem is garbage.
Do you think it's the rhymes or the beats? Because for me, if you look at somebody who's as talented as him as an MC, the amount of songs that I actually fuck with Eminem, because of the beats to me, they're too, like I said this when I was with you, I want the fucking smackers, man. Yeah, I want the bump. I want that funk. I want that soul. Like, I don't want all this, you know, like, I got a feeling like that fucking,
Black Eyed Peas?
I don't want that shit. Like, I know it's a great song, and Will I Am's buying building off it, and you know, I'm in my one-bedroom apartment, but I want those fucking smackers, man. And Eminem, he's got very few of his own smackers through his whole career.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've always respected Eminem's lyrical ability. He's amazing to me. But I've always said if he was black, he'd be Redman. Because Redman is phenomenal, but Em always says Redman is his favorite rapper. But I didn't ride around bumping Eminem albums. Never. Like, I just couldn't get with that. It's like, it's just shit I couldn't get with. I don't want to kill my mom. I don't never want to kill a baby mother. Like, I don't have those issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just couldn't relate. But he's dope.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal with the wordplay, but it's just like, now I'm like, that Beyonce record was trash. I heard another one lately. I forgot this.
And why do you need Beyonce for a song? And like, to me, it's like, Eminem, you don't need Beyonce for a song. It's just a mix, not message, but it's like, you've been, like, yo, you came out, you set the table, the BET shit. Like, put some shit out.
I didn't like the BET freestyle.
Why didn't you like it?
Because I just thought, just lyrically, it was okay. I just didn't think it was dope. Like, I mean, I love the message in it. Don't get me wrong. I love the message. Love that you're using your privilege to combat prejudice.
Right.
But it just wasn't hot. Like, right. If I'm sitting, I'm like, all right, it just wasn't hot. By Eminem standards, it wasn't hot to me. Like, he had that one line where he goes, being racist is the only thing you're fantastic for because you know you're orange and you get your rocks off. I'm like, what? I'm a comic book head. That's a reach. The thing ain't even orange. Like, it's just, I don't know. I didn't like that either.
One of the other things, all right, because there's so much shit. I'm so glad you're here. The Kanye West interview, the Birdman interview. What would you say Charlamagne Tha God's Breakfast Club 5 craziest interviews where you were just like, have things gone too, like, forget the Hillary Clinton. I'm talking about like, you know, the fucking Onyx interview, nuts. Like I was like, yo, this is crazy. The Ray J call, like, I mean, this was like where I was like, yo, I'm getting old. Like I don't give a fuck what Ray J and Fabulous. Like this is crazy. Like, so what would you say, like if you look back, like, yo, these are the 5 craziest, excluding Kanye and Birdman.
It just depends what you call crazy. Like, I guess, you know, Fredro Starr would have been crazy, but I actually thought that was dope because I grew up on Onyx. So I grew up on Back the Fuck Up. So to see Sonny Caesar, you know what I mean? To see Fredro Starr really wilding, you know, Sonny Caesar, Sticky, Fredro, like to see him wilding like that in that moment, I like, yo, this is dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like watching a Back the Fuck Up video live and in person. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that didn't bother me.
Did you think that interview were like, yo, this is gonna like, we're gonna be fighting in here? Like, did you ever think like this is gonna go over the shit talking, over the beefing edge, and like this is gonna like turn, like, did you feel like that like was gonna get fucking out of hand?
That's interesting because I never been in that position. So in that moment, I'm like, first of all, I was wondering, why you get so mad, bro? Like, what's up? Because you said this about Brandy. Like, I didn't make this up. Like, I didn't pull this out the sky. You are on a video saying you got head from Brandy. So why are you upset with me because I brought it up, you know? So that's the first thing I was thinking. And then, I'm listening to him huff and puff. And if you watch the interview, I asked him, I said, yo, you good or do we need 5 minutes? And, you know, that's just saying, like, you want to go in another room and throw down a little bit? Like, you know, it's all good. And he was like, nah, I'm good. All right, cool. Nothing else to talk about. You know? Like, I don't, like, the verbal don't bother me. You know? Like, you know, as long as you don't put your hands on me, we cool. Like, the verbal, that's just talking. You know? Beanie Siegel was another one that was very hostile.
He was pissed.
Yeah, but I didn't, that don't bother me either. Because I don't mind that. Because if I'm sitting there telling you exactly what I want to tell you, so you can respond however you want. Like, I'm not ever surprised by anybody's reaction, you know. But those interviews like that I don't ever look at those as like scary or anything. Like, they're not crazy to me. The things that are crazy to me are the things that I don't think are a big deal.
Like, which ones? Or what moments?
Well, I'm not gonna say I didn't think it was a big deal. I just didn't think it all the way through like I wanted to. Like this year we had Little Duval on there. And he made, he didn't make the comments about transgenders, transsexuals. Somebody, I asked him what he thought of the military ban. And everybody says that was a stupid question to ask Duval. But usually when you ask comedians those kind of questions, they have like different viewpoints than we've seen before. So that was a legit question of mine. But then, Envy asked him about if he slept with a transgender or transsexual and, found out that they used to be a guy, how would he feel? And Duval's reaction was, somebody got to die. And I'm like, no, you can't say that. That's a hate crime. And then he was like, well, hold on, let me rephrase. If I was deceived like that, I would probably be so angry that I would want to kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, you just can't go around killing transvestites. But it just, it just went to, I didn't take into consideration how they feel. You know what I mean? And I think that comes with being a heterosexual male who, I'm not in those spaces. I'm not having those conversations with those people. We take for granted what hurts other communities sometimes. You know what I mean? Because we're just kicking the shit. Duval's really my friend. So that's a real conversation we would be having if the mics weren't on. Envy's really my guy. So we were just having a real conversation. But we weren't taking into consideration, at the time, I think it was like 14, 15 transsexual that had been killed that year. So that was a very sensitive thing. So for me, that was crazy. And I wish I knew more about that community or had more compassion towards that community so I would have just taken that out.
Was there a lot of blowback from that?
Oh, hell yeah.
And what is it, like from your bosses? Is it like, what is it, internet?
The LGBT community.
They're coming right at you.
Yeah, I was in
fire this motherfucker.
Oh man, they had a petition going.
Are you like, yo, I fucked up? Like, have you ever
I was a little confused at first because I was like, hold up, y'all acting like I said it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I actually defended it and told my man he can't say that. I'm like, yo, that's a hate crime. I specifically said, yo, you can't go around killing transgender people. You know what I'm saying? So like, why is all of this rhetoric coming towards me? Like, they came and, protested me at Politicon. I was out there with MSNBC and they came and protested me there. They boycotted in front of the radio station. So I was a little confused about it until I just had to take a step back and say, hold up, let me see what I could have done better in this situation. You know, I'm never one when I'm getting critiqued to just be like, nah, y'all wrong, or nah, it wasn't me. I want to see, like, yo, let me find out what my place was in this whole situation. How could I have changed this energy? So it was just a matter of like you said earlier, like being more compassionate. You know what I mean? Like being more sympathetic. Because guess what? If that was a white dude in there, and he would have made a comment about, you know, black people and said something like, yeah, I'd kill black person, I'd have felt the way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to put yourself in other people's shoes. That's all.
Hillary Clinton, when you interviewed her, like, and what goes into that? Like, are there like fucking Secret Service come up there? Like, what's the behind the scenes and what's your preparation like for Hillary Clinton? Because that's like, this ain't fucking Puff. This ain't Hove. This is beyond that. This is like, yo, I'm about to. She's running for president of the United States.
Yeah, I don't even know if I've ever said this anywhere, but I remember they was trying to get Hillary on for a while.
They were trying to get her on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, for a while, and one time they called my phone and they had like this, like it was just a pre-interview, like they was just vetting me basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you ask Hillary and this and that? And I'm just...
Who was they? Did you, like, was it just some...
My man Bakari Sellers hooked it up. I can't remember exactly who I was on the phone with, though. But after that conversation, they vet all your social media.
Oh, shit.
To see what you've ever said about Hillary.
Everything.
Yo, they pulled up a video from this old social media app called Scout that I forgot I even had. And one Halloween, I had put on a Hillary mask. And I was going around just thrusting people. like I'll be grabbing I was just thrusting like my coworkers, like the guys, pause. But it was what it was, right? And they had that up there. And then I think I made like a tweet like 8-9 years ago, and I said something like Hillary in pantsuits. So I forgot. I don't remember what I even said.
And they're bringing all this up to you.
All of that shit, all of it. So they passed at first. They was like, nah, we're not bringing Hillary here. But then in 2016, like around April, it was April. They was just like all of a sudden, because this was 2015 when this happened.
Right.
So like April, like maybe around March. Oh, they took me to dinner too. That was the other thing.
Who?
I went to her campaign team at the time.
They're like checking you out to see what your deal is.
Yeah, because see, the thing is, and this is why I think we missed out on a great opportunity with Hillary. Hillary had so many women of color around her. Like her whole team, everybody that she was, dealing with as far as campaign strategy was all women of color. Like those are the people that were running her campaign, and they all were listening to the Breakfast Club, and they was like, "No, you have to go on the Breakfast Club." So we went to dinner and we kicked it, and they was like, "Yo, she wants to do the interview." So we did it in Harlem. I even actually had a picture of her prepping to interview with me beforehand.
She was prepping.
It looked so crazy. It looked like they're in a war room, and like everybody's like communicating with her and handing her papers and this and that, and My mindset with interviewing Hillary, I said to myself, I say, yo, man, there's nothing political I can ask Hillary that she won't have a talking point for.
Right.
Nothing.
You're not going to trick her or walk her into some shit.
Nothing. So my only thing politically that I wanted to address with her was the 94 crime bill that Bill Clinton, implemented. And, a lot of people of color were locked up because of that. A lot of families destroyed. So I wanted to know how she was going to rectify that. But other than that, I just wanted to kick it with Hillary because she's so robotic. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know who Hillary Clinton is. So I'm like, I'm just going to ask her questions that I know she don't got talking points for. That's why when she sat down, I'm like, yo, historically, you worn a lot of pantsuits. Has your, a wardrobe been inspired by Steve Harvey? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yo, you was in Brooklyn the other night. You ain't shout out Jay-Z or Big. I'm like, yo, you going to pardon Bobby Smurda and Max B? Like, I'm just fucking with her. You know what I'm saying?
And did you get a sense of a human being?
I did.
When you're right in front of her, you're getting a sense of a human being.
I absolutely, positively did. And I told everybody that. I was like, yo, Hillary's actually a real person. It was one point where she had a coughing fit during the interview.
That might happen with me.
Yeah.
It might happen with me. I'm surprised I haven't had a coughing fit yet. But stay on Hillary.
And I said to her, I was like, yo, you sound like you've been hitting that medicinal. And she was like, shit, I need some.
She said shit?
She was like, shit, I need some.
Did you, so you like.
They caught it. It's on like she said it, it's on the video if you watch it. Yeah, it's on the video. So like little stuff like that, you can't fake.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And she knew what you meant medicinal. She didn't like blank out on you and give you like the fucking.
Not at all. Like, and it's funny because I asked her, because I saw one time when she said, if I become president, I'm going to tell the truth about UFOs. So I brought that up because I'm really big into UFOs and extraterrestrials and all that good shit like that. And like mad UFO websites was hitting me. Like I didn't realize like that's a thing.
Right.
So like all these different UFO outlets wanted me to call in. And there's all of these stories online about Hillary said she's going to open it up. Charlamagne Tha God asked her about it. So it's just interesting with those kind of interviews because you really don't realize what type of worlds you're speaking to when you do these kind of interviews. Right. You know what I mean? And I think that's why a lot of people know about the Breakfast Club. Because we're not I love interviewing anybody, man. Like if you got an interesting story, I'm gonna talk to you. Like you don't have to just be of the hip hop culture. Like I want to talk to politicians and Sasquatch hunters. Like if you just got an interesting story, I want to kick it with you.
Who are the like top 5 people that you have not interviewed? Like who's the people on your list now? You'd be like, I want bop 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 bop.
That's always an interesting question, man. Because I really honestly haven't. I don't think about it. Like this is one of those things when you see it on the like wow. Sanaa Lathan's coming here. Malcolm Gladwell wants to come to the Breakfast Club. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and because these are people that I'm huge fans of. You know what I mean? I've read all Malcolm Gladwell books. You know what I mean? So when I see them wanting to come to the Breakfast Club, I'm like, oh wow. And then it hits me like, yeah, I do want to talk to that person. You know what I mean? Like, but there's really nobody I sit around like, yeah, I can't wait to build with that person. You know what I mean?
That's an interesting question. The answer is that a political answer, or you're dead serious?
I'm dead serious. Like I honestly don't think about it. Like I've never sat around and like, yo, I want to talk to this person. You know what I mean? Like it's like somebody like for example Dick Gregory. Right. I remember somebody emailing me like, yo, Dick Gregory wants to come on the Breakfast Club, and I'm like,
he's reaching out to you.
Yeah, and I'm like, hell yeah. I think he was doing Caroline's. Maybe it was Greg Charles. Maybe somebody at Caroline's. I'm like, hell yeah, I want to talk to Dick Gregory. But you got to think, these are people who aren't even in the realm of my possibility to think to interview. I've been doing the Breakfast Club 7 years. I never thought I would sit down with Dick Gregory. Right. I never thought about it. Right. You know what I mean? It just never crossed my mind. I never thought I would interview Hillary. Right. I didn't think that was something that was going to happen. Right. But when you see it on the guest list or you get the request for it, you're like, hell yeah, I've been waiting to sit down and talk to that person.
That's dope. And what about the wackiest interviews? You were saying
it's always the young boys, man.
Who was it? You said something to me when I saw you the other day. There was a YouTube dude.
Oh, Jake Paul.
Who now? So he comes in and what? I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, he's a 20-year-old YouTube guy. I really still don't know what he does. I don't know if he does music or if he's one of those guys that does stunts, but he's got this large, massive YouTube following, like 10 million followers on Instagram. And it's like, yo, he's just, I mean, I don't dislike him. I still don't dislike him. You know, I actually said that when he left, I was like, I didn't think, you weren't the douche that I thought you was going to be. Douchey, but not a total douche. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like when he sat down, he was just on some shit like, yeah, bring it, Charlamagne, bring it. And I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck you are. Right. Like, and then, you know, when I was interviewing him and asking him certain questions based off the research I had done, he was like, you're being aggressive. Like, bro, I don't know you. And he was like, you know what you're doing. Like, I don't know you or the motherfuckers I'm asking you about. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, like, please don't think this is personal. Don't flatter yourself. Right. So, like, those guys like that, it's like, yeah. I mean, that's why I said, like, I love the youth. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not the guy that's going to sit around and pretend like I know what's going on with the youth. I don't think that's you know, genuine. You know what I mean? Right. Like, first time I interviewed Chance the Rapper, I'm not even going to front. I didn't listen to Chance because his CD was called Acid Rap. Right. So I dismissed that shit from the gate. I'm like, I'm not listening to this shit. Why the fuck I want to hear another drugged out rapper? But I did myself a disservice because he's the total opposite of everything I thought he was. Mm-hmm. So it's like when he came to do an interview to promote his album Surf with his man Donnie Trumpet, I told him that. But that was such a great conversation because it was a sense of discovery. Like, I'm the guy that will tell you straight up, man, in my book, Black Privilege, I have a principle: give people the credit they deserve for being stupid, including yourself. That means the know-it-all knows nothing. I never act like I know it all. Right. I always got this childlike sense of discovery. Right. So if I feel this way about you, I'm just going to tell you exactly how I feel, and then you can tell me if I'm full of shit or if I'm stupid or not. And that's what Chance did that day. I was stupid because I didn't do my research, and that's fine. Did he say that to you? Nah, he didn't. I knew I was stupid in that moment because I was judging a book by its cover or an album by its cover. Right. In this instance, you know? For
me, I'm not a fan of his. I met him. He's nice. I know he's positive. I know he's super positive. Like the music itself, I'm like, nope. For me, I like my shit rough, rugged, and raw, straight the fuck up. Like I need that smack. like I like that, you know, I mean, is it something like you've had a sort of a more open palette to hip hop? Yes. Or if you had to learn it, or you sort of force yourself like, yo, I can't just, not everything's gonna be fucking you know, our shit. Not everything's gonna be Wu-Tang. Not everything's gonna be Tribe. Not everything's gonna be Rakim. Like, because you have to sort. You can't just be this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, and be on the radio in New York City.
Well, you hit it on the head. I got an open palate, and the reason I got an open palate is because I'm from Moncks Corner, South Carolina, and you know, coming from South Carolina didn't have its own music. Like, you from New York, so you grew up on Tribe and Wu-Tang and Hove and Biggie and all of this shit that you can relate to. I didn't have that in South Carolina. So in South Carolina, we listened to everything. I was listening to the up north shit. I was listening to the West Coast shit. Of course, when, you know, down south started bubbling, we was listening to that. Like, we was listening to Outkast early on and Goody Mob. Like, we listened to everything. The stuff that was going on in Texas, the Ghetto Boys and all that. Like, we literally listened to everything.
I got you.
So being that I had such an open palate, that's just something that carried on me as I got older. Like, even now, a lot of the stuff that people say is whack, I can dig it because it reminds me of stuff I grew up on. I love 21 Savage. I love Kodak Black. I can get with the Migos.
You genuinely get that shit.
Yeah.
Like when I say get it, you know what I'm saying by get it?
I don't feel it, but I get it. It's a difference.
What do you mean?
I was talking to what's the brother that did Juicy Fruit? M2T.
M2May.
M2May.
Yeah.
He was on the Breakfast Club this morning. And
that's dope.
Yeah, he said that you hear music three ways. You hear it with your ears, your heart, and your body. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of this stuff in this generation, 21 Savage, Kodak Black, you know, Future, the stuff that I hear it with my ears. So sonically, I like it. But I don't hear it with my heart or my body. You know what I'm saying? Mobb Deep, I hear that with my heart.
Right.
Outkast, I hear that with my heart. Wu-Tang, I hear that with my heart. Like, that's different. You know what I mean?
But you're able to sort of digest it if you're just hearing it with your ears. Because for me, I'm like, yo, I listen to this shit, and I'm not like, I want to hear new shit. But I'm like, it's a different, I don't know, it's a different palpitation. I don't know what the fuck it is.
I just don't feel it. Like, I mean, I listen to that stuff when I'm in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm in the gym, like, it's rare that I listen to something now and I feel it. Like this year, you know, I felt Rhapsody. Rhapsody is a young lady from North Carolina. I feel her with my ears, heart, and body. Like, that's just one of those ones you put in those smackers you talking about. Like, whoa. And she's socially conscious. So she just dope. Sci-Hi the Prince. I felt that with my body and my heart. You know what I mean? Like those are dope ass albums. So it's just like, yeah, a lot of the new stuff I hear. You know what I mean? And I think it's dope. It reminds me of old 3 6 Mafia.
I got you.
Project Pad. Or like,
I got you.
I remember Jeezy when he had the Screechers Watching mixtape, and he used to come to the main event in Columbia, South Carolina, and nobody was there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I saw all of those movements grow. I remember T.I. coming through with the Great Champion hoodie. He didn't even have a deal after he got dropped from LaFace, I think it was, and giving me 24s on white labels, and I'm playing that for him. Like, I saw the rise of all of this. So with me, man, I always take offense to New Yorkers just dismissing the South. Because I remember when they booed Outkast here.
Right.
At the Source Awards, which was a very, it's a moment people don't speak on, but that was a very pivotal Source Awards.
Speak on that,
because that was when Suge Knight came out and said the infamous, if you want somebody to.
Was that the same year?
That was the same year. If you don't want somebody all up in your videos, like that's when the East Coast West Coast feud started. But that's also when Andre 3000 said the South got something to say. So while the East and the West was busy feuding, the South was just busy rising.
I didn't realize that was the same time.
Same exact time.
Those guys, to me, were, when they came, it was like, what the fuck is this? But that shit was fucking banging from the jump.
Which is interesting to me that, like, somebody like you wouldn't have liked Outkast, because they from the fruit of Tribe.
Yes.
That's Tribe got a tree. Outkast gets fruit off that tree.
That was straight, you know, native tongue shit. Like
absolutely.
They were they were dope off the top. All right, Charlamagne, let me take a break real quick. The I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast is sponsored by Casper Mattress, the outrageously comfortable mattress that I have been sleeping on since we started this podcast. You probably heard about it millions of times on this podcast. You see the ads. It lives up to all the hype and expectations. Real customers have said the Casper Mattress is like sleeping in heaven, like the tinkling of baby laughter in the moonlight. If you have to compare sleeping on a Casper mattress to anything, what would it be? How How about sleeping on a fucking cloud? Okay, that's what it feels like when I go to sleep on my Casper mattress every single night. That's a fact. I remember the first morning I woke up on a Casper mattress, I was so energized and ready for the day. I felt like $1 billion, not a million, $1 billion. I also got to tell you about their brand new duvet. It's like nothing I've ever felt that keeps you warm and cool at the same time. Okay? Instead of goose feathers, they use duck. That's right. They use fucking duck. You won't believe the difference. With the mattress you can lay on, sleep on, skeet on, do whatever you want to do on. Casper mattress is the best mattress in the world. Buying a Casper is easy. Order online. It's delivered to your door in a compact box. You're going to be like, what the fuck? Yeah. It's delivered in a box. Free shipping, free returns. It's available in the United States, Canada, and now the UK. Considering we spend 1/3 of our lives on a mattress, it's so important to truly sleep on a mattress before committing. That's why Casper offers you a 100-night sleep trial. That means you get to sleep on the fucking mattress for 100 nights. And I got a special offer for listeners of this here I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. Go to Casper.com/Rapaport. Save $50 towards any mattress purchase. It'll change your life. It'll change the way you sleep. It'll change the way you rest. It'll change the way you feel when you get up. Go to Casper.com/Rapaport. Tomi Lahren.
Yes.
What is her fucking story? How did you meet her? And like, where are you at with her now? Because somebody said to me the other day, and I was like, yeah, you're fucking right. Like in the last, we're in December, the last 12 months, the world as we know it before is changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully it doesn't get any worse. But like, I feel like right now, if like, I don't care about before, okay, you voted for Trump, your taxes, your gun rights, whatever the fuck you were thinking. After all we've been through in the last year, if you still fuck with Donald Trump, I don't care if it's his wife, I don't care if it's his fucking daughters, his fucking son-in-law, all the shit that's happened, how can you still stand by this motherfucker? And seeing this fucking blonde head, big tooth fucking chick up there just yapping away. She's always talking about sexual predators. I'm like, have you been alone with Trump? Like, he would have a fucking field day with you. Like, if he caught you alone, he'd be talking that wild shit with you.
Yeah. He make Weinstein look PG.
Yeah, he'd grab the pussy, all his greatest hits would come out with. I'm like, who is this fucking girl?
Yeah, I met her via Twitter. And the reason I met her via Twitter is because one day I was on Twitter and everybody started tweeting me like, yo, you got to get this girl Tomi Lauren donkey today. I never even heard of her. And I was like, well, what did she do? And they was like, yo, she went in on Beyonce and the Black Panthers. So I went to go look because this was right after Beyonce did the halftime performance at the Super Bowl. She just went in on the Black Panthers, was calling the Black Panthers a terrorist organization and this and that. And, you know, Beyonce's performance was anti-police. So I gave her a donkey of the day. When I gave her a donkey of the day, her show, I think at the time she was on the Blaze Network, they reached out to me to come be on her show to discuss. And I was cool with that because I'm all about, you know, going on these people's platforms and challenging their narratives. I don't want to say change their narratives because, yo, man, you're never going to change the narrative of a racist anyway, or a misogynist, or a sexist, or the way they want to see you is how they want to see you.
Right.
But if I go on this platform, somebody watching, you know, might get sparked. You know what I mean? So I went on there and I challenged her narrative of Beyonce and the Black Panthers. And I schooled her on who the Black Panthers really were and schooled her on what Beyonce was doing. Beyonce's performance wasn't anti-police, it was anti-police brutality. Like, how can you be an American and be against this? And from there, I hadn't spoke to her in a while, you know.
You just did the show.
I did the show and kept it moving. And then I don't know how we ended up exchanging emails. I think her producer or somebody might have hit me up and we exchanged emails. And I remember having a conversation with her saying, look, man, if this is really you, cool. You know what I'm saying? If you really believe the things that you're saying, if this is really the rhetoric that you want to spew because this is truly how you feel in your heart, I don't got a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with it, but I don't have a problem if it's really you. But if you're just doing this because it's getting you hits and it's getting you likes and it's getting you retweets, you're going to crash and burn. Right? And she was like, no, this is how I really feel, blah, 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 this and that. Now, the problem came in, she came to New York. She never used to come to New York. She came to New York. She was doing The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. she wanted to do the Breakfast Club. She had been said she wanted to do the Breakfast Club for months. I'm like, cool. She did Trevor Noah's show. She had a poor showing on Trevor Noah, so the Blaze pulled her, didn't want her to do the Breakfast Club. Now, that day, I was supposed to have a meeting with her at Viacom anyway, because somebody at Viacom thought it would be a good idea for me and her to do a show. I wasn't going to do that.
Right.
Every woman in the building was like, Charlamagne, you better fucking not. I was like, I'm not even thinking about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you listen to the Breakfast Club that day, I was like, yo, I'm supposed to have a meeting with her later. She canceled on us, but I'm supposed to have a meeting with her later. Interview was like, yo, you should go talk to her.
Right.
You know what I mean? See where her head is at. So we was literally in a meeting. It was me, her two agents, my guy, Paul Ritchie from Viacom. And we was just having a conversation. And I told her, I said, yo, I think that a lot of your rhetoric is dangerous for black people. You know what I mean?
This is just in a meeting
This
privately.
is just in a meeting, having a conversation, because I'm really trying to see where her head at. I want to see if this is really her. I'm like, yo, your rhetoric is very dangerous. She said, why? And I said, because the way you paint the Black Lives Matter as a terrorist organization, and then she explained to me why she feels like BLM is a terrorist organization. She said that she was in Dallas that night where that guy went rogue and shot all of those cops, and she said that her parents were getting death threats, and she was getting death threats, and she kept referencing this video where some people were marching saying, what do we want? Dead cops or something like that, and they were saying they were members of BLM. And I was like, you're a Trump supporter, right? And she said, yeah. And I said, do you think all Trump supporters are racist? She said, no. Some of us just want to drain the swamp and we're tired of government. But when I do go to these, Trump rallies, there's a lot of people there that are straight up racist. So I said, but you can see the difference. She said, yeah. So I said, how come you can see the nuance in Trump supporters, but can't see the nuance in BLM? You know what I'm saying? Everybody in BLM don't want to kill cops. You know what I mean? Everybody in BLM don't want to see cops dead. Some people in BLM just want justice. They understand that the injustice everywhere, the threat to justice everywhere. They just want these cops to be held accountable when they commit these, unjust murders. And she just wouldn't grasp that concept.
She wouldn't grasp what you just said.
She wouldn't grasp it. And literally,
that's one of the smartest things. Basic, bare bones, like slow pitch things. Like that was very fucking smart, clear, and articulate.
She said it's not the same thing. And her agent was like, no, it is. And Paul Ritchie was like, no, it's absolutely.
They said that to them there.
The same thing, yeah. And these are all white guys, by the way. Like 3 white guys all said the same exact thing to her. They were like, nah. And I couldn't understand if she was just being a contrarian because we were in the room.
Is she a fucking dingbat then? Is she like the Pamela Anderson? Because she's not dope. I think these old Republicans like, oh, look at her. She's not. She's a flat ass, big tooth, bleach blonde. I can't fucking stand her ass.
Yeah,
and like she's like walking around like she's like, I call her an Aryan pinup girl.
Yeah, I don't think she's smart. I don't think she's bright. And then plus, like I said, I don't believe her. Because, I went back and I watched like a lot of her old stuff in college. She was more liberal. I think that she was on the Blaze. She did an interview. She did a piece about Barack Obama that went viral. And I think she just stuck with that because it was working for her. And everybody got mad at me because they caught us coming out of that meeting at Viacom.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, Charlamagne, you like, it was like, yo, what's going on here?
Yeah, I'm be honest with you. I just something I wasn't taking serious. I was like, yo, Black Dicks Matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was just like I honestly, I didn't realize, I guess, the magnitude of the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Was that a game changer for you to like sort of like the internet of it all and the clip of it all and the Instagram of it all?
It was, but it wasn't even that. Like I made it worse because I took a picture with her and I put the picture in black and white and I go, do you see color? And I put laughing emojis. And the reason I did that is because when she was on Trevor Noah's show, she was like, she don't see color.
Yes, you do.
So Trevor Noah was like, so what do you do when you're at a traffic light? I just thought that shit was funny. So I just thought I was being witty when I posted this caption and thought people would get it. So they were mad about that. And then they saw the video of us coming out the building, not knowing the context, not knowing that I just, like, I'm not doing the show with you. You know what I mean? Like that.
You had a meeting.
I had a meeting.
Which is a good meeting.
Yeah. But so they saw that. But then like a couple days later, I posted online. I said, yo, it would be dope if a woke woman of color, created a platform to become a voice and control our narrative the way Tomi Lauren did. Now, what I was talking about was infrastructure. I'm like, I want that infrastructure because, even when she got fired, she was still posting videos on her Facebook. And shit was getting hundreds of thousands of views. I'm like, we need that kind of infrastructure for our people. But everybody thought I was trying to make a comparison between black women and Tomi Lauren. So that was just all bad. And I mean, my community really gave it to me, and rightfully so. Like, I'm not above criticism from my community. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I said that was just another example of like, sometimes you got to step back, get out of your own way, put your ego to the side, and actually observe what you just did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people aren't capable of being self-aware. I was self-aware in that moment. Like, I was like, you know what? I definitely fucked that one up. I didn't execute that one well.
So this particular situation, do you go on the radio and acknowledge it?
Yeah.
Or do you go on Twitter, acknowledge it? Or do you do the whole sort of thing?
Well, the funny thing about it is on Twitter, I had literally put out 6 to 7 tweets about this one situation. But by the time you come back to your phone, you're like, oh shit, that one first tweet, woke women of color, went everywhere. That's the one that goes viral. So nobody sees you explaining exactly what you're talking about as far as infrastructure. Like, I was even giving them examples. Like, I was like, yo, like the Young Turks, we need something like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was explaining what I meant by that, but it was already off and running. So just the next day on the radio, yeah, open up the phone lines, you know, gave myself donkey of the day, you know, like basically I could have explained it better. You know, and that, to me, I'm not above that. Like, I'm not above doing stuff like that. Like, you're not gonna get it right all the time.
Right.
Like you're just not. And I'm not trying to get it right all the time.
Right.
I'm just being me.
Right.
And I think that's one thing that we have to start doing as human beings. In this era, we like to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Somebody says one thing you don't agree with.
It's fucking over.
And all of a sudden, fuck you. I'm like, yo, I've been here the whole time on the front lines with y'all. Y'all know my heart. Y'all know where I stand. But you mad at me just because I didn't play this one right, or I didn't say this the way you want me to say it exactly. Like, I ain't got time for that shit, basically.
Right. No, I know. It's tough because it's like we have more forums for everybody. Joe Schmo, you, me, and everybody in between, and higher, lower, in between, to say more. But then, like, you gotta fucking phrase it right, watch right. Like, people, you could put a tweet out, misspell something, you can't spell, you dumb fuck, or you could say something, and them shits ain't going away. Motherfuckers are screenshooting it, and it's
That's not the way life works, though.
I know, no one's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. People gonna make mistakes. People gonna say things you don't agree with. That's why I love when, like, I'm having a conversation with somebody and they'll say something to me like, you know, Charlamagne, I don't always agree with you, but you be saying some real shit. Are you true to yourself, or you're always honest? That's it. That, at the end of the day, that is it. You know, I'm not always gonna say the right thing or the thing that you agree with, but I'm always gonna be true to self.
Who always says the right thing?
And the bad part, everybody's trying to always say the right thing now because everybody's playing to the fucking choir. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know we got these amen corners now. Everybody wants to get those amens. I don't want to get those amens. I just want to say what the fuck I feel like saying. If you agree with it, cool. If you disagree, fine. It don't bother me either way.
Trump, have you ever come across him in New York? Because like I saw him at Puffy's first big party. I don't remember what year it was. It was like the first time, like it wasn't just a Puffy party at a club or a big club. It was down in Wall Street, you know. And I remember every fucking body was there. Everybody from hip hop, Jeter, you know, with Mariah Carey. I mean, I had my little camera. Like, this is like film cameras. I saw him. I've seen him. Have you ever seen him in real life?
Never.
Never in any New York shit?
Never, ever. Never ran into Donald Trump at all.
How demoralizing, disappointing, like, where's your head at with it? Because when I saw him the other day at the Civil Rights Museum, like, it was like the last place he wanted to be. He wasn't talking his shit. He was slurring his fucking words. It was 11:10 in the morning. And I'm just like, this is just like, yo, like, I don't even know shit about politics, but I know this motherfucker is not kosher.
I think, I agree with everything that you're saying. I think that he's a bigot. You know, I think that he's prejudiced in some way, shape, or form, and I don't even know if it's just as simple as a white-black prejudice. I think it's more like an elitist. You know what I'm saying? Billionaire. I'm better than everybody that's poor. You know, type prejudice. But I definitely feel like it's definitely a lot of white supremacy within him.
Do you think he's doing the same thing like Tomi Lahren is doing in terms of sort of, this works, I'm going to go with it, or do you think it's genuine?
Nah, I definitely think it's genuine. I definitely think it's genuine because I don't think that you can't fake something like this. And plus, you look at like the things that his father was into, like getting arrested at a Klan rally back in the day. You think of his history of like housing discrimination, you know, with the Trump Towers or whatever. I definitely think this is who Trump is. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think it's gonna end up being one of the best things that ever happened to America.
Why?
Because I believe in building and destroying. You know, I believe to build is to add onto your life positively, step by step. To destroy is to tear down everything that's negative within your cipher. Like, I feel like Donald Trump has pulled the mask off of America. Motherfuckers been fronting and pretending for a long time. You've been fronting about your prejudices. You've been fronting about your racism, your sexism, your homophobia. You know what I'm saying? Your anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Did I pronounce it right?
Semitism. Yeah.
Semitism. Like
you're asking me. I barely speak the language.
When everybody's been fronting on it.
Right.
Now you know who's who. I don't have a problem knowing who's who. Let me know who's who. Like I don't want to, be in a restaurant and wonder why I'm getting bad service. Fuck all that covert racism. Give me the overt shit, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that overt that covert homophobia. Give me the overt shit. Like I want to know how you really feel about, whatever it is I may be. Like I like that. And I think that, right now you see a lot of us empowering ourselves, man. Like I look at the way, like we was talking about Hillary being, president and what that would have done for women. I think it would have done for women the same thing Barack being president did for blacks.
Which is?
Make us comfortable. Make us feel like shit is sweet when it really wasn't sweet. You know what I'm saying? Barack was just a symbol. I got love for Barack. I voted for him twice, but he was just a symbol. You know what I'm saying? Like we was just happy to have a black president in the White House.
Right.
We didn't go up there and get nothing done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't go up there and demand anything. Like we was just happy with that symbol. I think it would have been the same thing for women. I think being that women saw, how this unqualified piece of shit individual became president of the United States of America over the most qualified candidate in history who just happened to be a woman. When they saw that, they was like, oh, fuck no. And if from the start of the year, women just been on their shit, from the Women's March to women rising in the media world like Angela Rye, to the rise of activists like Tamika Mallory and Linda Sarsour and Carmen Perez, like even just like you look in pop culture, the Tiffany Haddishes and the Cardi B's, the Scissors, like people love, like women are being pushed to the forefront in a way we've never seen, especially women of color. I don't think that happens if Hillary gets in the White House.
I got you.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if that happens.
That makes sense. That's good shit. All right, I'm gonna let you go in a minute. Cardi B, you said you can't predict it. I mean, no one can predict this sort of success.
Yeah.
But you knew she was special?
I knew she was a star. Absolutely. Like I've been bringing Cardi on. Let me see. Cardi's like 23 now.
She's 23 years old?
Yeah, like 23, 24. She's young as hell. Like she been coming on the Breakfast Club. She was like 19. You know what I'm saying? 19, 20.
From Love and Hip Hop?
Nah, before Love and Hip Hop.
Before Love and Hip Hop?
Before Love and Hip Hop.
Where was she before Love and Hip Hop?
She was on Instagram.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
She was one of those Instagram sensations. That's when I saw her. And like I'm the type person, man, I don't care about delivery because I'm from the country. I didn't go to college, you know what I'm saying? I got a fucking lisp. I can't fucking pronounce words. I say straight, screech, strong. You know what I'm saying? So I don't worry about like, somebody's educational background or what their delivery is. I listen to what the fuck they're saying. So Cardi used to be on Instagram saying things like, look, man, living in New York is hard. You know what I'm saying? If you live in New York and you make minimum wage, you probably bring home $250 a week. You know what I'm saying? You can't pay no fucking bills off $250 a week. Like, so if you don't want to be out here struggling, having to script, suck dick for money like me, you little bitches better stay in school. Get a fucking education. Like, that's a great PSA. You know what I'm saying? You may not agree with what she's saying, but what she's saying is absolutely motherfucking real. So it's like little things like that is what caught my attention. I was just like, yo, this girl's speaking truth to power. Regardless of if you agree how she's speaking truth to power. So I was like, yo, this girl's a star. And I used to always be saying like Cardi B for president, Cardi's a star.
Before all of this. And
everybody like, yo, you trolling. So when she got on Love and Hip Hop, I was super championing that. And then we was playing her song on the radio, Cheap Ass Weave. Everybody like, oh, Charlamagne, you trolling with this Cardi B shit. You trolling with this shit. And now look at her now.
I mean, that's a truly only in America.
Absolutely.
It's an incredible fucking story.
Bro,
like,
Donald Trump is is a only in America type story. Like everybody talks about Barack Obama and they're like, yo, that's the best case of optimism. No, it's not. Donald Trump is the best case for optimism. I look at Barack and I see his skin color and like, yeah, you may tell your kids, yo, anybody can be president. And it's like, no, Barack got hella education. Like Barack went to Harvard and Nobel Peace Prizes and like, look how well-spoken he is. He's a great orator. Like it's a lot that goes into Barack Obama.
Right.
Donald Trump is the best case of optimism. Never held no political office, can barely motherfucking talk. You know what I'm saying? Not qualified for shit. And he's the president of the United States of America. He's a better case for optimism than Barack Obama. To become Barack Obama, you actually got to put some work in.
That makes good fucking sense.
Yeah.
What do you do when, let's say, a friend Like to be honest with you, I didn't watch it because I was like, I don't want to see it. There was something with DJ Envy, with some tweets or texts or some shit, and then you had to like
dildo.
Yeah. Well, how do you deal with that? That's your man. That's your coworker. How do you, as an interviewer, like, because people are like, oh shit. Like, they're like, this is fucking blood in the water. These are the two guys that always talk shit.
Yeah.
You're the fucking instigator. He's sort of like the guy who's always throwing the frisbees in. How do you deal with that? Because to be honest, I didn't even watch it because I was like, I just didn't want a part of it. So what do you do with that situation?
You bring that shit right to the radio immediately. Like the whole show, and even still making jokes about it now. So what's up? You taking dildos up your ass? And like he's like trying to explain, I'm like, I don't believe you. I think that you taking dildos up the ass. Like you just...
Is that what you guys were... You guys basically had this conversation on the radio?
Yeah, I fucked with him all... I mean, it was bad. I fucked with him all morning long. Oh, it was bad.
But did you feel uncomfortable fucking with him?
No.
That's what I fucking...
Not at all. Not at all. Because we do it to each other. Like, if I got some shit that's going on,
But that was like, that was like, that was like in a sweet spot. No pun intended.
Yeah, if you come in there and you tell me, like, look, man, I don't really want to talk about this. Oh, so it must be true then.
Right. He knew he had to like...
You got to acknowledge it. Like, why wouldn't you? You got to fucking acknowledge it. So, yeah, I still fuck with him to this day. Like, to this day, like, his wife was on because we did the whole Change for Change thing a couple of weeks ago. We raised money for the Gathering for Justice organization. And his wife was on there, and I was like, so how much money y'all gonna donate? $9,500. And she was like, I know what joke you're trying to make, and I want you to know my man doesn't take 9.5, he takes 10. Don't show up my man is having... So it's just funny shit, you know what I mean? Like, why run from it?
The Change for Change project and all the money... Explain that to the people that listen to the podcast and if they could still donate.
Well, no, they can't. We're actually presenting the check to them. I don't know when this is coming up, but we're presenting the check to them this Friday.
To
the Gathering for Justice organization.
And how much money did you guys raise?
I think the total was like 800 something, 878, 838. I don't count. No, I don't know the exact number, but it was 8 something.
And are you like, this is fucking, like, you guys must be so fucking proud of that.
Honestly, I haven't stopped to think about it. It was one of those things that I had been working on all year long. Like I first went to iHeart with the idea over the summer. Cause my thing is, man, don't tell me how much you love my community, and don't talk to me in the hall about the injustices that are going on in the African American community. Or don't talk to me about how you think it's wrong what's happening to Colin Kaepernick. Like, let's fucking do something about it. And then I look at, I was looking at Colin Kaepernick's Know Your Rights camp. It's an organization that I've been a mentor at. I've gone to do mentorship at his camp.
You have?
Yeah, absolutely.
You met with him?
Yeah, Colin's my guy.
That's fun. Has he come on the show?
No, he hasn't been on the show. Like, he's not really that type of person.
He wants to just do, right?
He just wants to do the work. You know what I'm saying? That's it. He just wants to do the work. Him and his girlfriend Nessa. Me and her are really cool. Like, me and Nessa have been tight for like 6 years now, because Nessa used to work for iHeart. Okay. And we both used to work at MTV together. So we was always just like really close. She works at Hot 97 now doing afternoons. I
didn't know that.
Yeah. She worked at Hot 97 doing afternoons. I wish she was still with us at iHeart, but whatever. But that's like, she's a real good friend of mine.
I got you.
And so I knew when her and Colin first started kicking it and everything. So.
Do you think, well, since you know him, like, is that, because to me, I'm like, yo, he's not speaking, he's not saying anything, you don't hear any blurbs, there's no fucking podcast, there's no Breakfast Club, there's no nothing, because he just wants to He
just wants to do the work. Very genuine dude, man.
Right.
If you sit down with Colin, he's one of those people whose energy presents itself before he even opens his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a really good dude, and like he's always thinking about how can he move the culture forward, like how can he help people. Like, this guy has pledged to give $1 million of his own money to various organizations, and he's done it. Right. And he hasn't even had a job for the past year. So that was where my mindset was at. My mindset was like, yo, I see him, taking money out of his own pocket to fund the Know Your Rights camp. Like, let's raise money for him. And the gathering, the women's march, Tamika Mallory, Linda Sarsour, Carmen Perez, like, yo, these young ladies are really risking their lives and their livelihood for us. Mm-hmm. Three young women out there all the time on the front lines, and like, we know they need resources, they need funding. Like, people act like Martin Luther King Jr. then was just marching back in the day. Nah, Harry Belafonte them was funding those movements. So those are the two organizations I presented that I wanted to raise money for. And at the time, Colin Kaepernick, he wasn't even a nonprofit, And later on, maybe like after me presenting the idea, like I found out a few weeks later that the Gathering for Justice movement, which was a nonprofit founded by Harry Belafonte, now all of these organizations were under his umbrella. So the Know Your Rights Camp, the Women's March, and the Justice League NYC. So that was just all God putting that together, man. Because to find one organization that represents two organizations that you want to raise money for, and then to throw in the Justice League NYC, I'm like, this is perfect. So that was just all God engineering. So I had the idea for the Radiothon to be on the air for 24 hours. We raised like over $700,000 in 24 hours. Everybody donated, from Diddy to Will I Am to Eminem to Ed Sheeran, like all of these different people. But more importantly, the people stepped up. $5, $10, $20, $100, $50, like the people, man. And that was just so dope to me because I always say that we're all we need at the end of the day. Like, I ain't got time to be complaining about no fucking Trump.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like Jay-Z said, government, fuck government. We politic ourselves. Like, I ain't got time to be complaining about what they doing in the White House and how that, like, let's help ourselves. Let's empower ourselves. And that's what we did with the Change for Change.
I respect that. Let me ask you the obligatory top 5 MCs question, top 5 groups question. But with the obligatory top 5 MCs question, I want to remove Jay-Z, remove Nas, and you have to be alive. Because Jay-Z and Nas always take up the list of the top 5. So we're removing them. Let's just consider them on everybody's list. And Tupac and Biggie essentially aren't on it because they passed.
That's crazy though, because I always say I got a top 7, but if you take those two out, now it's my top 5.
Okay, top 5.
So my top 5,
Charlamagne Tha God,
obligatory top 5 greatest MCs of all time for me.
Yes, and it's interchangeable.
Ghostface Killah is my favorite rapper ever.
I like that. Has he come on The Breakfast Club?
Ghost has never been on The Breakfast Club. And that's my guy. Like, I remember the first time I met Ghost when I used to work with Wendy Williams. I was drunk. I forgot where we was at. It was some type of party. And Ghost came in there. I'm like, Ghost, I fucking love you, man. Like, you have no idea. Like, and I know I was on some groupie shit that night, but I'm a kid, man. Like, this is fucking Ghostface. Like,
you got a groupie out.
Come on, man. Like, we live in this era where if you tell somebody how much you love them, you're dick riding.
No, I'm not.
If you tell somebody how much you don't like them, you're hating. I'm like, where's the middle ground? Like, why can't we celebrate people? So I'm quoting rhymes to him. Me and Ghostface stood outside this club in New York, probably like 07, and I rapped Wildflower to him. Wildflower was off Supreme Clientele. He's like, yo, bitch, I fucked your friend. Yeah, you stink, ho. I seen her on the elevator, honey, grab my Kango. She put me on the mega shit, about to slap the bitch. She shot Crazy Rebel. I lean back like I'm rich. It took place late night on February 17th. Like, we rapped that shit together.
He was rocking with you?
Yes.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, and the last time I seen him, I think I saw him in the airport recently, but maybe like a year ago, I don't know. But Ghost is my favorite.
I love that guy.
Oh, he's incredible.
His whole shit.
Oh, man.
One of a kind.
One of a kind. When I found out who made his robes, my man Hassan Touré, I got a fucking robe made. I was walking around New York with a Cedar God robe. I still got it at the house. I still wear it around the house sometimes.
Oh, shit. But, okay.
Ghostface, Killer Mike.
Okay.
Killer Mike is phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
People...
Run the Jewels.
Run the Jewels, man. But I mean, even before that with his,
Goody.
Yeah, good.
And Dungeon Family and all them.
Yeah, I pledge allegiance to the grind mixtapes and albums. Like Killer Mike is one of the most slept on lyricists out here. I agree. T.I.
Okay.
I love T.I., man.
He's dope.
I think lyrically T.I. is just, he's dope. Like, you just gotta go back and listen to those Indiscreet mixtapes. Listen to I'm Serious. Listen to, Urban Legend.
Game Changer.
Trap music. Phenomenal. Like, there's no trap. Like, this next guy who I'm about to say is my favorite, you don't have him without T.I., and that's Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? Jeezy's not the greatest lyricist, but you feel him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel him. He just says those things like, you just feel him. Like, the world is yours and everything in it is out there. Get on your grind and get it. Yeah, hands in the air. Like, it's the way he words things. It's just dope to me. And then Scarface, man. That's my 5. If I got to take Jay and Nas out, that's my 5. Scarface. And Scarface, he speaks for himself. And if I have to say, well, that's my 5. I'm about to say honorable mention, but
good, you an honorable mention.
Redman.
Stupid.
Come on, man. There's no Eminem without Redman. I keep trying to tell people that, like, if Eminem was black, he'd be Redman. Redman's wordplay is just that amazing. And
I agree.
And I think Eminem is a better songwriter Redman's a better songwriter than Eminem too. If you don't believe me, go listen to Muddy Waters. Muddy Waters celebrated 21 years.
He's getting ready to drop some fire because I hope it's fire because I seen some clips he put out on the internet and I was like, this is what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, he killed the new Wu-Tang album.
killed it.
He killed the new Wu-Tang album.
Hey, has he been on the show?
He's been on there a couple times.
So are you hyped like, yo, fucking Redman?
Always. I'm a 90s kid, man. You see my hoodie? It's fucking Mike Tyson from Mike Tyson Punch-Out, man.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? It's the type of shit I grew up on. I grew up on fucking, Wu-Tang and Redman. First time I ever punched a kid in the face, Time for Some Action was in my headphones. Like those are the people that provided the soundtrack to my life. So how can I not get excited when I see those guys? It's hard for me not to fan out whenever I'm around Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sitting at the crib literally maybe 2 months ago, Meth calling my phone. You know what I'm saying? Because salute to Method Man. Meth wanted to get me on Drop the Mic, but just, man, I'm getting a call from Method Man. Like, that don't get old. I don't give a fuck how old I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucking Method Man, motherfucker. Like, show some respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we interviewing RZA, like, that's different. Like, Raekwon calling me over to his studio to watch the Only Built for Cuban Links documentary and wants me to be on the Only Built. I did the Only Built for Cuban Links documentary, which is phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not out yet, but it's phenomenal. He wanted me to be on it because I'm such a big Wu-Tang fan. Like, come on, man. Like, that's different. Like, that was it. Like, I never thought I don't take shit like that for granted is what I'm trying to say. I don't take that shit for granted.
All right. Charlamagne Tha God, this was dope. I appreciate it. Book is still on sale. New York Times bestseller, 7 weeks. Black privilege.
Yep.
TV host, radio host.
Yep.
Outspoken, shit-talking connoisseur.
Yes, sir.
What else can I say?
That's it. I call myself a professional game spitter, heavy hitter, shit talker. Don't nobody run off at the mouth better than me.
I mean, you're good.
You're good too.
You're fucking good. I mean, you're fucking Hall of Fame good.
Thank you.
Like, I don't know if you're in the hall yet. You might be. You're not in the hall. You're still playing.
Still playing.
I told Steve Harvey the other day. I said you're in the Hall of Fame because you've dialed it back. But that's a Hall of Fame shit talker.
Yeah. Steve is a great inspiration of mine. Like, he's somebody that I model my career after, just as far as entrepreneurship, you know what I'm saying, looking at what he's doing in the media world as far as radio and television and executive producing all of these shows.
He's doing his shit.
And his talk show. He's the man. Like, Black Privilege, the book is, the reason I structured it the way I structured it is because of Steve. Because my original title for my book was I Don't Give a Fuck and Neither Should You. And it was going to be a self-help guide on how not to give a fuck. And all the publishers that touched on sound, she was like, no, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. It'll never sell. It won't get this placement. Meanwhile, Mark Manson comes out with the subtle art of not giving a fuck, sells 1 million goddamn copies.
That motherfucker.
Yeah, but Steve was like, look, man, you got more to offer than that. Give these kids some lessons, some principles, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, I put a suit on for my book cover, you know what I mean? And I was like, yo, you know what? You're right. And that's what I did. That's why I put the suit on, because I'm showing people where I'm going. And plus on the back, you know what I'm saying, I got the white t-shirt on with the South Carolina hat, because I still will always remember in the back of my mind where I came from and who I am at the core of me, you know what I mean? But I know I want to have a late night talk show one day, you know what I'm saying? I told you that yesterday. Like, there's no black people in that space. There's no black men in that space. You got like Robin Thede on BET now, but like there's no black host on a major network.
It's crazy.
It's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got even John Oliver and Bill Maher on HBO. So I want to get on one of those cable networks and just have like a weekly late night show, you know what I'm saying, where we just really talk that real shit.
Absolutely. Charlamagne, the motherfucking God.
Yes,
I appreciate you coming on the I Am Rapaport.
Thank you, Michael Rapaport, for having me, man.
Absolutely.
Peace.
All right, I want to thank my guest, Charlamagne Tha God. Definitely get his book, read his book. New York Times best-selling book, Black Privilege. You catch him every single day. The host of The Breakfast Club. They got their YouTube page. It's easy to find. Charlamagne Tha God. Again, thank you for rocking with me on the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. This was a great episode with an iconic shit talker. And we're done. I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. I'm out.